Hello everybody, I am back at making videos. And to start this comeback off, I'm going to be sharing the most saddest, disturbing case in my brain that happened in 2018. Trigger warning for whoever watches this video, and it's a very lengthy one. I went into depth with this one. This is the case of Junior Guzman. Lisandro Guzman Feliz, or better known as Junior Guzman, was a 15-year-old raised in the Bronx who was brutally murdered on June 20th, 2018. His life was sadly taken away by a gang in the Bronx, all because they thought he was somebody else. A really bad case of misidentification. Born November 11th, 2002, he was raised by his mom, Leandra, and his father, Lisandro, who were both Dominican. He also had a sister named Genesis and a brother named Manuel. Now, growing up, Junior wanted to be a detective. He was even part of the NYPD Explorer program, which gave young kids a chance to get a head start on this career. He also loved baseball, and his favorite team was the New York Yankees. Unfortunately, Junior grew up in a really bad town who was known for gang violence. One of the most notorious gangs there was known as the Trinarios. Although Junior wasn't a member, he knew some of the people there and he hung out with them in some of the hot spots. That's kind of what led to what happened on June 20th, 2018. At around 10 p.m., Junior told his mom that he was going to hang out down the block with a friend. They both sat by the curb, listened to music, and talked. At around 11:30, Junior started to head home. That's when 4 cars pulled up on him and started screaming at him. Scared, Junior ran to the nearest bodega and tried to seek refuge. Footage from the bodega shows Junior trying to hide behind the counter of the bodega, but the owner of the bodega did not let him hide. That's when one of the gang members walked inside of the bodega and saw Junior trying to hide and called the other gang members, beating Junior before dragging him outside. Now, I can't show the whole thing because TikTok has a pussy for a CEO. Let's just say all the men were armed with blades and they attacked Junior outside of the bodega. Despite all of the wounds he took, the one that was fatal was the one on the side of his neck, but he didn't die right away. Junior went inside of the bodega again to seek help from the owner, but the owner kicked him out of the store, a decision that the owner still regrets to this day.
In an emotional, tear-filled news conference late this afternoon, that owner talked about being criticized for not doing more to help.
Video footage shows Junior outside of the bodega telling somebody to call 911 while he stumbles to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he sadly collapsed at the entrance. Cell phone video shows people who recognize him trying to help him, surrounding him in his last moments, and even capturing 2 police officers who did absolutely nothing to help Junior. They were both put under investigation for their actions. Junior passed away on June 20th, 2018, and even though he sustained various injuries, autopsy shows that if he would have had medical attention right away, there was a really good chance that he could have survived. So why did this happen? The leader of the gang supposedly says that they were trying to go for another person who looked exactly like Junior. Supposedly, the target was a boy who made an explicit video with a woman who was related to one of the gang members. This was enough to put a target on his head. This is when the hashtag Justice for Junior was created, and this helped the police arrest 14 suspects who were involved in the unaliving of Junior Guzman. 5 of the men were found guilty for first-degree homicide. The man who delivered the killing blow is serving life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Antonio Rodriguez started screaming after he was sentenced to 25 years to life, along with Elvin Garcia and Jose Muniz. Only Janaiki Martinez Estrella, who inflicted Junior's fatal neck wound, received life without parole. The youngest killer, 19-year-old Manuel Rivera, got 23 to life.
And the other 4 are serving 20 years in prison in Rikers Island, and they're under protection because the inmates tried to unalive them inside the prison. The rest were given lighter sentence as they weren't as involved in the attack as the others were because they were waiting in cars or they knew that the plan was gonna happen. However, this was not enough to satisfy the public. They were mad at the fact that they were just recording Junior and not doing anything to help him, as well as the 2 cops who didn't do anything and just stood there, including the owner of the bodega who received death threats for what he did to Junior Guzman. As for the girl in the leaked video, it's said that she gave up Junior's name to protect the other guy in the video. She also received a lot of backlash because of this. And finally, Junior's mom. She couldn't cope with the death of her 15-year-old son, and she took time to recover. She is now fighting to change the world and passed on what is known as Junior's Law. This provides bodega owners with a panic button so that an emergency like this happens, again, they have the button to immediately call services such as the police or medical attention. She says if the owner of the bodega had a panic button like this, her son would have been saved. Thousands of people showed up to Junior's funeral, and they were all dressed in Yankee jerseys. Celebrities like Cardi B appeared and donated $8,000 to this funeral. Like and follow for more.